Who world is this?
Ray Davis.
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 Who world is this?
Ray Davis. Right.
Who world is this? Who world is this?
And we're back. It's another episode. It's episode 5 of Ray Diva's World podcast. You ain't hear the claps, but the claps were for me. So, thank God we're here. We're another Monday, another week. We've survived. There's a lot going on. We're going to get right into this podcast. But before we get into the podcast, I got to introduce my beautiful guest to the side, Kid, a boss chick.
Kid, a boss.
Say hey to everybody.
Hi, you guys.
And if you didn't know, this is my daughter. Anyway, so it's a lot going on. The culture wars are crazy right now. Like, it's a bad time to have a problem on the internet, in my opinion. And it's a lot of things going on. But since I got you on the show, I want to get your perspective on a lot of things. And so we're going to break some things down.
Okay.
Now, I need to know your opinion. It's a show called Impact Atlanta, I think, and it comes on BET. Mm-hmm. It has a lot of influencers on there.
I've watched.
And I think a lot of this stuff is manufactured drama. Do you?
I don't know. I feel like they give them a storyline, but I feel like most of the stuff that comes with that story, like I think they give them a topic, but the things that they feed off of that topic is true.
So you think it's the truth behind these storylines?
Yeah, I think they do alter the stuff that, they want them to talk about. Like, hey, I want you to talk about this, but the opinions and the thoughts and the feelings are true, I believe. I
be wondering how, because see, my thing is this. And it's a lot of these girls out here who are what they call quote unquote influencers. Mm-hmm. So before I go any further, who are some of those girls that you like? Like, if you had to name an influencer that you're actually following, like you look on their page, you think that they inspire you, you think that you can pattern something about yourself after them. Who are some of those girls?
I don't know. I don't really follow like the influencers and stuff like that. I honestly don't follow any of the big influencers because I love their hustle. I love that they're young. I love that they're going to get, what they need, but they don't really influence me.
Which is weird because I follow some of the girls, but I'm always perplexed into why their words have such a big impact on young girls. I follow Ari. Mm-hmm. I follow Jada Waiter. Mm-hmm. I think I follow Chinese Kitty. I follow a lot of those girls, but when in me following them, I don't really see where it's anything that and I'm an older woman, so let's get that out the way. But I don't even see anything where any of the young girls could take from them but drama a lot of times. Now, they are I think Jada's a businesswoman.
Ari is too.
But what is her business?
She just opened up a cosmetic line. And it's not about, you don't have to open up a business to be a businesswoman. I'm going to tell you that.
Okay, you
don't? To me, I don't believe so, no.
So
she does hostings.
Hold on, pause.
I don't think so. You don't have to open up a business to be a businesswoman. She has other type of business. She don't have to have a line, a clothing line, a cosmetic line, even though she does now. She does hosting. That's business. That's business between her being an influencer in a club.
Agreed.
She get paid for that. So that's business.
So somebody like me is going to say, well, the only way she became, or only way some of these girls become influencers is because they're messing with these rappers.
Not Jada. Ari, maybe, yes, I do believe that Ari, nobody really knew Ari before she messed with G Herbo. Correct. And I don't down her for that because it's like, that's how you came up. That's cool. Just like I don't down nobody of how they got that money. But Jada, no. Jada been selling hair. Jada been on Pinterest. Jada been on Vine. If you are in this generation, we been had Vine. Before we had TikTok, we had Dub Smash. Jada been dead before she was even messing with Lil Baby. So I don't think that. I feel like that made her a little more hot, but she been hot.
So what my opinion of a lot of these influencers is that when I look at them, and I follow a lot of these girls because I am a stand-up comedian and it's my business sometimes to know what's going on in the world. But I don't see a lot of these girls coming out of college. Like, I be trying to figure out how many girls is going to have a hair business. How many, realistically speaking, let's be honest, how many girls are going to fall in love with a famous rapper, have a baby, and become an influencer?
But you got to
how
think
likely is that?
The ratio of now and back then is very likely because it's a lot of rappers now.
No, it's not, because it would be a lot more girls being influencers.
Mom, yes, it is. You see the big influencers and the really big influencers, but I don't think you really on the scene. It's a lot of people that look at Tusi, baby mother. That was his girlfriend. She just had a baby by him. Now people are starting to look at her. Now people are starting to follow her. Now people like and want to do stuff she do. Oh, Samara had this, so now I want this. It's more likely now because first off, it's easier to get yourself out there because we have social media. And the hair business is big. Everybody wearing hair too. Men, women, trans, everybody around the world is wearing hair. So it's so much money out here for everybody. That's why everybody is kind of doing the same thing.
So, but after a while, it becomes oversaturated and the money is less and less and less. Everybody is not going to be able to distribute hair.
No,
first of all, the agent's not even going to sell it to everybody. You're not even going to be able to get it at a price where you can make the profit to be living these lavish. See, this is my problem, and I'm glad you're on here. I feel like a lot of these influencers get on social media and show these lavish lifestyles that normally you cannot attain if you are not in a position to date a rapper or your parents don't have money. I feel like a lot of times they influence people to scam. I'm gonna keep it 100. But that's live a lifestyle that is not theirs.
But that's not their fault. That if you are a weak-minded person and you are following the influence of what people are posting on Instagram, that just goes to show that social media has a big influence on our generation anyway.
It really does.
But if you don't have, I'm not out here like, if I'm gonna make my money how I make my money, I've always wanted to be a nurse, and no Instagram or that never stopped me from going to college and be like, oh, I'm just going to do this because she doing this. That's why I said I don't really follow influencers, because they don't, quite frankly, influence me. I don't have that mind.
I feel like those influencers make people look down on normal average lives, and I feel like the normal average people is the important people.
It does.
To me, I feel like people want to look down on being basic, starting from the bottom. Yeah. I feel like everybody feel like, oh, when I turn a certain age, I'm going to have a $1.2 million house or $3 million house. That's not the real world. And so I'm not saying that you should not aspire to that, but I do feel like the culture is having your generation act like normal and basic is beneath y'all. When all whole time, a lot of parents and grandparents and this society is built off of hardworking, everyday people. Yeah. That matters. If it's no trash men, then what?
Right.
If it's no dishwashers, then what?
No dentists.
If it's no dentist, if it's no housekeepers, like, everybody not made to be this person. And I feel like a lot of younger people want to be that so bad that they not even pursuing their God-given talents. Everybody just wanted money and get on the gram.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I feel like everybody matters. But for the people that want to do what these influencers do, they want 1.5 million followers and they'll do anything to get it, they will never progress because that's not their journey. If you want to be like somebody else and you will do anything to be like somebody else, God will never allow that to happen for you if that's not your journey, if that's not your path. So for people that's, oh, I'm a sell hair, but I'm going to just do this like Jada and I'm going to be like Jada, you will never be in Jada's place because maybe that was Jada's journey. You get what I mean? That's not mine. So it would just never work out for them. So that's not for nobody to say, oh, I don't want you to do this. They will find out.
So another another problem I have, and I'm not just going to say it's a problem, something else that I noticed about these young black women influencers is I feel like a lot of younger black women are following them with the plastic surgery. Like, I feel like, you know, we got so many beautiful black women out here that are under 30 doing way too much with their face. And I'm like, the culture is, when you become 40, when you become 50, and I know y'all generation want to call 40 a big old age or whatever, but you should pray and hope and wish that you get to these ages. I feel like when you turn these ages, you're going to look even worse, or you're going to be doing so much you never know the long-term effects of having all these procedures done.
But I think a lot of females do it because nowadays it's just so much pressure to do it. If you're working at a club, they're not going to hire you if you don't got plastic surgery. They're not going to hire you if you don't got a 40-inch bust down. They're not going to hire you if you're not driving a Benz. It's so, like, I can't be mad at people because it's so much pressure for, if a girl, like, normally wants to go and work at a club and be a bartender or be a bottle girl, whatever the case may be, a lot of these clubs won't hire you if you don't have enough following, if you don't have a BBL, if you don't have a bust down, if you don't have a watch. Like, and so it puts more pressure on people like, okay, well, how I'm going to get this in order to do that? Or a lot of females now are doing it for men because men have so many standards nowadays, but will literally cheat on you with a SpongeBob body build.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I mean, that's just all
but
on
wait
you.
a minute now, because you said you was thinking about doing something to them lippy lips.
And I was, and I want my lips done.
And
but it's
so,
not
but
because
wait a minute,
I want to be like an influencer.
Not because you want to be like an influencer, but how big are you going to get them lips?
I'm not getting my lips big.
You got perfect lips.
I get it, but listen, y'all say that all this plastic surgery been out.
Yes,
people just have more money than it was back then. A lot of people have more money than everybody else. Everybody getting money. So more people have
everybody not getting money.
I'm not saying most people are getting money.
Your generation be saying everybody getting money. When you looking at bills.
When you was 20 and when you was 20, right? Did you see your homegirls and them pulling up to school with Benzes?
Not when I was. Well, a few girls had a car, but not when I was.
Money. It's scam. It's Instagram. It's influencer. We got more access to money, so we have more access to actually get up and go get plastic surgery.
Maybe y'all don't know what the hell to do with y'all money. Maybe that's what it is. Because investing in plastic surgery is not. Listen, y'all don't need it.
Everybody don't need plastic surgery. That don't mean they don't want it, and people can do what they want to do.
Okay, people can do what they want to do. But what I'm saying is, it's just this narrative that these surgeries and these things that people are doing to themselves is somehow making you better people, and it's not. Like a beautiful person, like a lot of these people look better pre-surgery. Yeah, in my opinion. But
the way you look at somebody and the way they look at themselves is not the same.
Right. And so then you get your lips done and you look in the mirror and you say, they're not big enough. And then you go get them bigger. Yeah, this is too big. And then all of a sudden, now your lips big. Now you want your cheeks big. Then your cheeks big. And now you want your eyes, the cat eyes. Then you look like Catwoman.
Well, listen.
I mean, no, let's be real. Like, some people, it's like an obsession or this ideology that this surgery is somehow going to make your life better.
No. Me getting my lips done not making my life better. It's just
and
something.
Personally, I don't have a problem with you getting your lips done. I just think that black women naturally have full lips and high cheekbones.
We do.
And we already look good.
And I know I look amazing.
Yes.
And actually, I'm happy that I waited to get my lips done when I was so content with myself. I know with the lips or without the lips, I'm very beautiful.
Very.
But I do want my lips done, and I feel like that's a choice I want to make. And hopefully, by the grace of God, that I don't go, I want bigger lips, I want bigger this, and have an addiction.
So you, like, if you seen somebody, what's too much? Like, what are you saying? They gone too far? At what point it's too far? Is it Little Kim? Like, at what point is it too far?
Little Kim was way too far.
So she passed the be.
That's past too far. That's been far. So
because it's like she got so much surgery, she lost her neck.
Yeah. I mean, so, I don't know.
You don't. I hope my daughter don't lose her neck. I don't want to see you look like that, yo. I need you to keep it
First
cute.
off, I'm never getting nothing done to my actual structure of my face. I think I've been very blessed.
Very blessed.
My lips, I'm also blessed, but I do feel like they can be bigger, and that's what I want.
So it was a young lady who made a comment. You know, in my opinion, I felt it was disrespectful. It was a comedian. Her name is B. Simone, and she was talking about Martin Luther King. And when she said what she said, you know, basically she was talking about him cheating on his wife, and he's just an average Negro. You know what I'm saying? And it came across. I personally felt disrespected, right? Because I know what average is, and I know what extraordinary is. And I know a lot of average Negroes is in jail doing nothing, not paying child support, deadbeat dads. And so I felt the type of way when she put him in that category, right? Mm-hmm. But it really made me rotate on what she was saying even further, as to say, your generation doesn't seem compassionate about civil rights and movement. And I'm not going to say you, because you really took me back when you were a part of the Freddie Gray riots, mm-hmm. against my will. Mm-hmm. Against my will. Mm-hmm. You went and you stood for that. Mm-hmm. What was it about the Freddie Gray riots that made you decide, I'm going to go, and don't say nothing crazy,
I'm not.
I'm going to go against my mom and dad's wishes. My mom told me not to go up there. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go against. Now, mind you, I was going with your grandmother, because I ain't believe none of it. Because mm-hmm. you came home talking about it's a flyer going around, talking about y'all going to ride. And I'm like, girl, if you don't shut your ass up. But I called your grandmother, and I'm like, you know, this little girl talking about this riot and these flyers. And I'm like, and your grandmother said, well, you know, maybe just keep her home from school. I'm like, you know what, Ma? I'm telling her don't go to school. What made you feel like in that situation that was something that you wanted to be a part of?
Because most of the time, like, at the age I was, like, I'm starting to now realize it really is a lot of stuff going on in this world. But don't you know how something happened other places, and then it'd be like, you know, it's bad, it's still messed up, but then you don't really think like, okay, it's not really nothing. Honestly, I mean, it's something, but it's not, you're not taking any accountability or wanting to do anything so to help the police accountable for the situation. But when it happened here, it was more like dang, like this really real, like, and people are really angry about this. Like, this really happened to this man. I have two brothers. Like, this is not okay. And if we not going to speak, if nobody going to speak, and if I let my mother, even if I want to go against, you know, I don't want to go against your will.
I think at that point you wanted to go against everything I said to you.
But it was like, dang, like, why not, Ma? Like, why you don't come out there too? Because if all people don't speak, it's going to be like the same situation that happened last time with the person that wasn't from Baltimore, that was from somewhere else, and people was not speaking. So when we made the riot, it sent a strong message.
And, you know, in retrospect, it was the right thing to do. And I'm glad you didn't listen to me. And you're right. You know, more parents could have been out there because
it was a lot of younger people out there.
It was a lot of young people. A lot of young people. I thought it was mostly school children. But you're right. You know, a lot of us parents could have been out there, you know, riding for y'all or riding for Freddie Gray. And a lot of times, let's not negate the fact that sometimes, because of generational gaps, mm-hmm. parents are not as in touch with what's going on the streets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know, sometimes we are not on the streets walking the beat, as they would say. So, you know, sometimes we'll look at it and be like, oh, you know, he might have been out here selling drugs, or we might not think that situation was worthy of the response, is what I'm trying to say.
Or y'all just not, I feel like our parents' generation just not as outspoken as we are. Like, I was on TikTok the other day, and I was watching this girl. She was a nurse. Mm-hmm. And she's in her 40s, and she's been a nurse for a while. And she was like, you know, it's crazy because it's these young nurses that just graduated nursing school that's here. And she told the charge nurse, like, I just got done nursing school. I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable doing that. And the charge nurse told her, no, you're going to do it. She was like, if this was me, and when I just got done nursing school, I would have did it because I know that's my charge nurse. But she said this younger girl was like, I said I'm not doing it, and I don't want to lose my license. And it's like we're so outspoken because we really don't care about the conditions of what happened, even though that's being careless. But I feel like we just way more outspoken.
I feel like it's borderline reckless, but it's not. Actually, it's a great thing to be that way. But I don't feel like y'all have a real sense of direction and purpose. And that brought me to the whole, Martin Luther King. I do feel like y'all have the energy, the will, because if it were not for your generation and younger people, Black Lives Matter wouldn't have never really happened.
Right.
Because a lot of young people made up those movements. Like they were the ones out on the streets,
college students,
putting in the legwork
making
or whatever.
Posters, doing artwork, making songs. Like it was just so much. It seemed like it was just done by the young people. And I don't know. I just feel like when it comes to my mom, and then my grandmother, it's like when everybody raised us younger people, y'all did not want to raise us like your parents raised y'all so bad. So I feel like y'all wasn't as hard on us.
I don't know, because me and you got parallel memories of you being raised.
I mean, I don't think after a while,
your
you
memory
really
ain't my memory
okay.
of y'all being raised.
After a while, I remember when my father would say, come in the house when the street lights come on. It was no way me and my brothers was in that house. We was still outside. It was, but if my father would be like, oh, but if I would have did that, my mother would have me up or whatever the case may be. But we know, we not getting messed up, so it's whatever.
So, but no, you cannot say that.
So it kind of made us more reckless.
You think so?
I think so.
I think we were really strict, hard on y'all.
Mom, no. Not after a certain age.
Not after a certain age. Well, I mean, at the certain age
was 12.
That certain age was like 12?
Yes. That certain age was 12.
I don't think so. I think you should push it up to maybe 13 or 14.
Oh,
because you still was being micromanaged at that age. You just was breaking all the rules.
Because I felt like I had the leeway too. I felt like I had the space too.
Well, and you may have, because I was definitely into stand-up comedy at that point in your life. Mm-hmm. I'm chasing a dream, but also, me and your dad had talks of, okay, you're going to be gone, I'll be here. And when you're gone, I'll be here. So we thought we were, quote unquote, taking turns with the supervision of y'all. But of course, when people want to be rebellious and hiding their ass and want to do and want to do whatever they want to do, then it's a whole problem.
Imagine how many other parents was chasing that dream, how many other mothers was chasing that dream, or how many other fathers was working 12 to 13-hour shifts to feed their kids. Like I said, I feel like that's why our generation was more reckless.
I can agree with you on that. I wouldn't even sit here and go back and forth with you, because I know how...
You think my grandmother was chasing her dream? No. No, I'm just being honest. My grandmother was not chasing her dream.
I know she wasn't, because
so her and my grandfather was in that house, and y'all was not doing what we was doing.
No, matter of fact, when I told your grandmother about my dream, she knocked that down. So I know damn well she wasn't chasing.
I felt like y'all was
dreams.
trying to break a generational curse, and it kind of made our generation grow up to be okay, we so reckless and say whatever we want and do whatever we want.
I think society just changed. You got to think about what was acceptable when your grandmother, when I was being raised versus us raising you. The rules had changed. They could leave me in a car all day and night and nobody would say a word. Okay, but when I had y'all children, I couldn't leave y'all in the car all day, and I had to take y'all and bring y'all in the store with me. It's just things. Your grandmother could take the iron, a frying pan, and an extension cord and beat me with it, and nobody would care. Okay. And so, I think society had changed, and it put more restraints on parenting. And
but now look at the parenting now. You see this new generation of little kids?
Yeah, I see the new generation.
Their mothers coming influencers, bottle girls, strippers, chasing their dreams, rappers. And guess what? You see kids on TikTok, they be 5 years old. cussing up a storm. You ever saw that TikTok mod when it be like, when a girl was playing with her doors?
And what she say?
And she was like, shut the fuck up. She was like, and you get in that motherfucking tub. And she was like 5 years. And the mother was just sitting there like,
TikTok crazy.
You know, like, it's going, I be feel like it's going to get reckless and reckless.
Well, you know at 5 you couldn't talk like that.
I know that, but that's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying. Like,
but imagine how reckless that little girl might grow up to be.
Right. I mean, you're right. And, you know, it does loosen up. And I feel like as a community, as Black people, we do need to tighten up. So, because we are losing our children. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take for us to come full circle and become community again. But I do think that the younger generation definitely don't have, like, now I won't even say a political agenda, a agenda of, you know, just equal rights. I feel like a lot of times y'all are just not even caring about that as much as y'all are caring about the hair, the makeup, the TikTok videos, the rappers, the twerking. I feel like y'all generation is obsessed with this to the point where as though a lot of stuff is being missed. And a lot of, you know, your culture is being lost. And, you know, like they say, if you don't know your history, it's bound to repeat itself. So when I heard that young lady talk about Martin Luther King, I was triggered. But then it took me a moment to say, you know what? They not really, in schools and stuff, not even really teaching.
No, they're not.
Black kids about their past. So I'm like, okay.
I haven't heard Black history since I was like in the 8th grade.
Well, they don't even teach you how to write cursive anymore. So
they've been stopped that when I was in the 2nd grade.
And I think that's
like
crazy.
These schools should kind of be blamed a lot. We have not, even on Black History Day, we ain't never, it was nothing. Like, it was literally just like a regular day.
So, okay. Moving on to, you know, it's a lot of things going on in culture. I know, are you even a fan of Kanye West?
I am a very big fan.
Really?
I'm a very big fan.
You know, now
I
you
actually like his shirt, White Lives Matter. I love that shirt.
Okay. What about White Lives Matter shirts do you like?
White lives do matter too. Black lives matter. And white lives matter too.
Nobody said white lives didn't matter.
Why can't he make a black
consequence?
No. Why can't Black Lives Matter be a movement? But why can't White Lives Matter be a movement?
What do we need to know White Lives Matter for when we born and indoctrinated? We know they matter from the day you born. You know they matter.
Okay, and Black Lives Matter too. But why can't he make a shirt that say White Lives Matter?
Why do a white man need to convince anybody that White Lives Matter?
I don't know.
It's your life that's the problem. It's girls like you that's getting locked up. It's girls like you that get kidnapped and been sex trafficked and not
white girls get kidnapped and sex trafficked.
You don't know your statistics, baby.
I know my statistics. What I'm saying is, I just don't think that it was such a big deal. White lives do matter too. Mexican lives matter. Indian lives matter. If he made an Indian Lives Matter shirt, I promise to God, y'all wouldn't have been mad.
And we definitely wouldn't have been mad. But the thing about it is, the White Lives Matter was only a gender-driven shirt for a certain group of people, so this man can get elected into office, which I don't think will ever happen.
I don't think that was why.
But what I'm saying is people like that shirt and your response lets me know how detrimental and dangerous people like Kanye West are. Because you should never be thinking about advocating for white lives and you don't advocate for black lives.
I don't advocate for white lives. What I'm saying is they matter.
I'm talking about Kanye West.
Okay. I just know me. I have, and growing up, I went to a very kind of mostly predominantly white high school. And I've been around a lot of white people in the field that I'm in. And I don't think that, just like they say, all cops not bad cops.
Oh,
all cops not good cops. But all white people are not bad people.
Absolutely not.
So okay, he made White Lives Matter. Cool. If y'all don't like it, why y'all giving it so much attention?
Because of the Black Lives Matter movement. Okay, so the White Lives Matter is a reaction to Black Lives Matter.
But why y'all feeding the field? Y'all getting him more attention.
We needed a Black Lives Matter because we've been treated unjust in the system. So
and I stand for Black Lives Matter.
We needed that. All this white lives matter, like white people being oppressed and like we hating on white people and white people in this struggle. It's just not a reality. It's a false narrative. It's a fake narrative that is being painted to, one, promote this insurrection mentality like the Proud Boys and all these groups that saying, oh, one day black and brown people going to take over the world and take over us and put us in. No. So we don't even want to support that narrative. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a false, fake one.
But by giving it attention, like right now on this podcast, you're supporting that. I'm being for real. Am I not? Am I not?
I just asked your opinion on it.
When you give something attention, whether it's good or bad, that's why people say haters motivate me. Because even if they're hating on you, it's giving you attention for people to say, oh, he made a shirt like that. Let me go Google that shirt.
But all negative attention is not good attention.
Well,
they claim all attention
and then make
is
the sales
attention,
go up,
but
they don't really matter.
Okay. So you don't have a problem with like white lives matter.
No.
And I don't. First of all, let me just, so that I'm clear, because this is a podcast. I think all people lives matter.
Me too.
Okay. Asian lives, anybody life. I wouldn't diminish or devalue anybody's life because of the color of their skin. Mind you, I'm of a certain age. So I've been through more things than you've been through. But I do think that y'all generation is starting to experience a little more of the hatred and the backlash. I feel like bigotry and hatred is being recycled. And it's got a new face, and it's got new avenues to, you know, explode, and that's social media.
Right.
So I'm never against anybody lives matter.
Yeah.
But that white lives matter, it was a trigger for me.
Yeah, it was kind of wrong because we already had the Black Lives Matter movement. But what I'm saying is it doesn't really bother me that much because in all reality, white lives do matter too. And Indian lives.
Yeah, no, everybody lives matter.
Everybody matters. So it's like, I'm not going to give it that much. I know my Black life matter.
Right.
And it should, Black lives matter. Like, we matter. We should matter all the time. But white lives matter too. And if they had a shirt called Indian Lives Matter, I wouldn't care about that neither. If they had a Arabic Lives Matter, Arabian Lives Matter, I wouldn't care.
And why would I support an Indian Life Matter shirt? Is because they've been oppressed as well. And so, I mean, when you think of the White Lives Matter movement, it's never been a question in my mind if a white life mattered. Like, I never questioned the validity of a white man or woman because I know that they are the standard. When we go to what's beautiful, it is a white woman put before us as the standard of beauty.
Yeah. But we know, and they know that's not true.
Well, I mean, everybody's beautiful to their own people. But what I'm saying is we don't need to be validated that white lives matter like it's a problem.
Because nobody's giving
them a problem about mattering. Okay, like, listen, this lady Candace Owens said the most dangerous place in the world was in the womb of a black woman, and being a white man, a regular straight white man in America. And I'm like, ain't nobody messing with white men, girl. Shut your mouth up. Ain't nobody going around and attacking white men for being white men. So, I mean, yeah. So, which brings me to the point of Roe versus Wade. Because I'm doing this because I have somebody of another generation to actually get your viewpoints. And I like hearing viewpoints from y'all. So, do you have any thoughts on Roe versus Wade? Whether abortion is legal or not? Are you pro-life? The right to choose?
I don't want to say my real feelings, but I don't know.
I want to have a right to choose.
I don't know. I think that women should have the right to choose because it's plenty of ways babies come up. It's not just out of love. Like, it's one night stands. Some women get raped. Yeah. Some women Or some women it's sometimes it's just people make mistakes.
Yeah, true.
Like people say, oh, well, then you shouldn't be having raw sex. It's plenty of times where people done got too drunk and made just an honest mistake. And you should not be penalized, you know, for a child that you're not ready for because you made a mistake.
Right.
So I do feel like women should have a choice. But do I feel like women should abuse abortions? No. Because as a woman speaking that has been that route, I don't feel like it's okay. And me learning from it, I don't feel like you just getting pregnant because you doing this and this and that and you just having abortions, or you having an abortion because you done told this nigga, oh, the abortion $1,000. I need
so
that.
You
get what I mean? So it's kind of like, I do feel like women start to realize that abortion is not just a game. You know, that's a life that could have been here, or that's a life that God gave that life to you to, you know, make that life.
Right.
So I just don't feel like it's a game.
Okay. And yeah, I'm along the lines of I do feel like a woman has the right to choose. And you know, the 20-year-old me would have been like, it's nothing wrong with abortions. Like, go get an abortion. Mm-hmm. But the me today is like, if you don't have to get an abortion, why do it?
Exactly. But some women do have to.
If you don't have to get an abortion, why do it? That's just me today, you know. But at the end of the day, too, you know, I don't want to see a woman give birth to a child and then misuse them, mistreat them, and abuse them. Like, that's another problem in the Black community. You know, sometimes our children get abused and as a deaf ear turned to our children as being mistreated, or the foster home system is not what it's supposed to be. I'm definitely for right to choose.
Yeah, me too.
Definitely.
But I do feel like the state should crack down more on just not allowing these women to just, because it's a money scheme. It's really a money scheme. Abortions are a money scheme. You know how much they make off of abortions. And then when you go to abortion clinic, if y'all haven't noticed how much they pressure you to be like, oh, okay, well, if it's something going on, is the father there, then yeah, you may want to get up. Like, you know, and it's kind of like a money scheme.
Hold on, pause. What was that little line you said?
Is the father there? Is everything good at home? Basically just try to make you feel bad, or just try to push you, like, even if you feeling like off on the edge about it. Oh, how old are you? Yeah, you're kind of young, you know, but they just want your money. But it be like the state need to crack down more on really having counselors in here really talk to those girls and see, like, why are you doing this? Is this the right thing you should be doing? Maybe you should think about it.
And now, on another point, I think, because you mentioned is the father in it, y'all young girls nowadays, y'all scare me so bad. And I'm going to tell you why. Mm-hmm. Because I'm trying to figure out in the next 20 or 30 years, is it going to be any women married? Because
probably not.
Y'all do a really bad job with men. I'm sorry. That's just my personal opinion. Like, I don't really get y'all. Like, you made a statement about fathers being played out. I don't think fathers are played out, but it is a mindset out here like not like yours, but it is a mindset out here like that.
But I didn't mean like played out, but it's just like now, don't nobody really be wanting all that, oh, I want to be married and I want to have a baby.
Why not?
Cause it's just all that drama. Like, don't nobody be wanting to go through that. Like, and women now feel like we don't have to. We be having our own stuff, our own motion, our own money. So, why we gotta be married and be all with a cheating ass nigga or a nigga that's doing this, doing that? Somebody gotta sit up, worry about a nigga all day. Don't nobody want to do that.
So, but wait a minute, pause. This is so, like, we can't even tackle this in this podcast because this mindset is blowing me. However, you know, like I said to you, you know, I do believe the man is the foundation of a community. How are we going to grow as a community if y'all want to be manless? I'm not wrapping my head around it.
Too, like, the men y'all had back in your day, now they was too much, but these men now oh, they really off the wall.
I think y'all too much.
Oh no,
I think y'all females is too much.
Is too much. Like y'all ain't never seen nothing like this. Like the handful of men we got, it be like, dang God, like why y'all gave us these men? Like these men really be off the wall.
What are the men?
Like you whole time you would think your man really cheat. Like you would think your man really cheating on you with like a female, but whole time your man will really be cheating on you with a whole man. Like it just be too much going on. Like niggas be asking their girlfriend $400.
That's a lot of drama.
Niggas be asking, men be asking girls for money, don't even contribute to pay that bill, don't help them with their kids, but still would ask the women, and the women are giving to. I'm not going through none of that, and honestly, I don't go through that type of stuff because ain't no men asking me for no money. But what I'm saying is, if I had a child today or tomorrow, I would not be so uptight about, oh, he want to go cheat and not be with me and my child. I just wouldn't.
Because you just made a comment. If you could have a child without a man, like, you would be happy. And I'm like, so you want to deprive a kid of their father?
No. If he choose to be there, that's cool. But if I choose to have a child out of my body, it was because obviously I wouldn't have minded doing it alone, or needed help, or I don't mind none of that. I want the child because I have the child. And if the father want to be there, cool.
The child needs a father.
But us being together,
the child needs the balance. And so I feel like y'all really don't sit back to take the time to understand, like, relationships are work. Relationships are compromise. You being my daughter, I know for a fact you don't like to compromise. And it's a lot of young women, because I listen to you and your friends that are out here like that. Y'all are spoiled. Y'all are selfish. Y'all are entitled. And it's no way a relationship is going to work if that's how the woman's going to be, because you're not willing to come to the table and say, hey, let's make it about us and not about me. I feel like the whole generation, including men, the younger men, are me people. It's all about them. But it's not all about you if you want to be in a relationship, if you want to raise children, if you want to have families, because that's why we were put here on the earth.
Yeah.
Everybody not a rapper.
Men ain't menning. So it's like we
because of the fathers.
Men ain't menning. Like back in the day, somebody would be like, oh my gosh, when I met this man, I got my first car. I done seen my first lump sum. He gave me, nobody ever did this. Us girls saying 10 bands before we even met the nigga. I mean the man.
Okay, well, so it's like, do you, baby?
So it's like, these men ain't men, and most of them be acting like females. So it'd be like us females
because they being raised by their mothers, single moms.
Regardless who they being raised by, how do you expect a woman to even be submissive to a man that's not that dominant?
Stop the cycle. Stop the cycle. Stop the cycle of we don't need men.
Who's stopping?
You just said
ain't even that dominant.
You just said holding nothing down. Fathers are played out. Fathers are not
men
played
ain't
out.
holding nothing down.
Entitlement.
It be the women.
Entitlement.
Okay.
You were never deprived of a father.
I was never deprived of a father. Whoever said I was.
No, but I'm making a point with that. You saying that because you was never deprived of a father. What about people who never had the opportunity to have a father in their life?
Well, I can't speak for them. I
you
can't
don't
speak
care
for them. I'm not saying I don't care. I just can't speak for them. Maybe they should get on this podcast because I can't speak for them. I can speak for me, and most of the men I know act like girls. Who would want to submit to a man that's got the same emotional up and down emotional everything just like you?
That's not
we
all
both on
men,
period.
though.
Like we both.
But that's not all men.
It's most men.
That's not all men. It's not
men.
most men.
Unless I go out here and date like a 45-year-old man, and
even when you date a 45-year-old man, something might be a little bit off with him.
Because you'll think he's a pedophile.
I don't know about pedophile, but it's pedophile.
Mom, you know you would say that. You like, he's a pedophile. You're only 22 years old. But you want us to settle for the men between 30 and 20? 20 and 30, 20 and 35, God, no. Like, all these men
You
is
talking
females.
all this trash whole time. I know for a fact this is the type of men you date. So what are you talking about?
No, actually, I'm not going to say I got a nice man.
I know. So
I
why
do.
is all this venom coming from?
It's coming from, that's not my first man in my life.
It's not. But I will say this. I will say this. The younger men do need work.
Mm-hmm.
They need work. Because they don't know how to cultivate a family.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that has been lost in just a whole mix of being single moms and divorce becoming more popular and the breakdown of the black family.
Yeah.
I can agree with you.
Because my not to cut you off, but if you really think about it, I'm speaking on previous relationships, but the man I have now, the first man that most of the things he do is like I never seen no man do before, and I never seen no man kid like that. He has both his parents. He has his mother and his father. His mother and his father are together. You know, but compared to someone I have been with before, only had a mother, and it's just so, and it's so many men though that don't have their fathers. So it's like, dang, like who can we choose from? And if you get a good man, you lucky.
And that's why I say we need to stop this culture of we don't need a man. The black man is very important to the black family. Mm-hmm. And the black men in the family produces better black men for my black daughters. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, I'm always, you know, taken aback when I hear my daughters talk about men when they had a good man in their life, but y'all still somehow affected by the culture of men being raised by single mothers.
But listen, I gotta say this.
Say everybody,
and this is, trust me, on everything. I love my father dearly. Like I love my father dearly. But every woman that has both of their parents, that does not mean that was a perfect household. No. And nobody's saying that by any means necessary. And it's been plenty of things that my father has done, not just to you, period, as a woman, not as you being a mother of his kids, as a woman, as y'all being married. It's been plenty of things that he has done to you that I would not want a man to do to me. Okay. And that's some of your problems too. Y'all be married to these men that y'all barely want to be with. At the end of the day, y'all be hanging on to them because y'all got kids, as you know, as of right now, but y'all don't be showing. Y'all be showing your daughters to settle. So it's always not. It's just because a two-parent household, that don't mean that can't mess up your children as well. Because just because y'all stay together for the children, you're showing your children, oh well, he did this, but since we got kids together, y'all should still stick with him. It's not. I mean, I
can agree with you on that. I do think that you can show your daughters to settle by staying in not good relationships. Mm-hmm. And you know, be on the podcast. I hope that if I did that for my daughter, to my daughters, I'm sorry for that, because what I thought I was doing was making a better life for y'all. Yeah. I mean, making a more stable life for y'all. I thought that I was sacrificing whatever it was that I wanted for myself, laying that down to make sure that my children had a better way. Yeah. But in retrospect, you are right. You know, staying in bad relationships as a mother and having daughters, you know, you show your daughters to settle. And I don't think y'all generation is the settling chicks. No. I mean, to be honest. So, no. Y'all generation is not the settling chicks.
We're not. But I'm just saying, like, I would never tarnish you, whatever you did. You get what I mean? Because you thought that was right. But I feel like a lot of y'all have to remember, a child was not just looking at the two parents there. A child is also looking at the relationship their two parents have. And if I'm looking at my mother going through all this stuff, but she still stay, or she still feel like she just can't leave or whatever the case may be. That's what I'm looking at. And I'm taking that like, okay, well, maybe that's okay. Maybe I need to stay. Maybe I shouldn't just up and leave or whatever the case may be. But certain stuff that you go through and certain stuff that my father has put you through, I don't think you should have stuck around. I think you should have been found your happiness sooner.
Because I am happy.
Yeah.
Okay, I can appreciate that from you. That's like such a grown woman thing to say. Give me a hug. You know I love you. I've never heard you speak like that on that. And maybe by you saying that, some other person may see this podcast and see it coming from, they say the truth come from the mouths of babes, see it coming from a child's perspective and move a little bit differently.
Yeah, I do, because people have to realize, like, I see my mother and my father as two different people, but just because I love my father, that don't mean I'm gonna say that I don't like the way he treated my mother, or I feel like my mother need to go find somebody that's making her more happy or whatever the case may be. Just because I love him, that don't mean I would never say that about him.
Your mother wasn't the same either. Let's just...
I mean, yeah, you sure wasn't. You sure wasn't. But I'm just speaking on... Yeah. I'm speaking on a relationship between me and you and my father as of right now.
Right.
I have never seen my mother as happy as she is right now.
Right.
And that's all that matters. No matter how much I love my father.
Right.
It's about your happiness as an individual. Right. That's what you have to show the children.
And you're absolutely right. And even in that, I still advocate for the black family.
Yeah. But if it don't work, you can't force it.
If it don't work, you can't force it.
Nope.
You're right. If it doesn't work, you can't force it. But at least try it. At least try it. At least try it. So this has been so inspiring.
Yeah,
You've been
so
really inspiring. So you gotta come back with me again. We gotta make it do what it do on the Ray Divas World podcast. Yeah. So I did have a question for you. So your generation, y'all younger generation. If you had to choose a person who you said would be the ideal, besides the man that you're with now, like I'm talking about a celebrity, who would be the standard for the man that y'all would want to be with?
Russell Wilson.
That's a good one.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson that's a good one.
Yeah.
What is it about him? And I know what it is, but I want to hear it from your mouth. What is it about him?
I don't know. It's like he just an active father to a child he didn't make. Let's start there. And it's like he give that vibe that not that he has to. It's because he wants to. Okay. And it's because he loved that woman as so much. He didn't care what she came with.
Okay. We got to go to break, but we're going to come back, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about this whole internet debacle, and then we're going to close out Ray Divas World.
Okay.
Deep might be it.
We must secure our families. KFG Life Insurance Specialist is a company that partnered with 15 of the top life insurance companies to ensure you get the best pricing, knowledge, and products to suit your family needs. Some people believe that term insurance is better than whole life insurance, while others feel the complete opposite. Some may feel like universal life is the way to go, and others may feel it's better to have a whole life policy. The truth is, neither of the products are better. One just may be more suitable for your family. Our life insurance specialists are not biased, as they are partnered with several life insurance companies. This ensures our clients get the best pricing, education, and products that are suitable for their families. Let KFG Life Insurance Specialist make these decisions easier for you and your family. Our office is located at Security Square Mall, next to Burlington, in the Coyote Man Show Network. Please call to make an appointment at 443-400-5224 or go to www.lifeinsurancespecialist.org. That's www.lifeinsurancespecialist.org. Let KFG Life Insurance Specialist help you prepare your family in the present, because the future is not promised. Act now.